Hi, my name is Lee Matthews and I'm a physiotherapist, and this is Pilates Rehab Relax. And today I'm going to guide you through another 10-minute Pilates routine in seated, and again this is going to be really gentle. So remember, throughout today's workout I'm going to be using a dining room chair. Sofas are a little bit too slouchy and it needs to be a chair that's not on wheels. To increase the level of difficulty, I'm going to be having a gap between my bottom and the back of the chair there, but if you wanted to make life a little bit gentler and kinder with the exercises, then sit back in the chair and use the support of the backrest. So let's find that good start position. So I've got a 90-degree angle at the ankles, the knees and the hips. My feet are about hip width apart. We're going to think about the position of our pelvis. So again, we want to make sure we're in that nice neutral position. There's different ways of doing that. You can make a triangle in front of your belly button and tilt backwards and forwards a couple of times, slowly decreasing the amount of movement until you find that mid position. Remember, as well as that, we want that lengthening of the neck, like you've got a helium balloon tied to the crown of your head. And we're also looking for that nice wide shoulder blade position there, and that's our start position. The other thing with Pilates is this focus on engaging these core muscles, and that's that corset that's around our tummy here. So again, find your belly button, bring your hands just a little bit either side there, and if I go to cough, if I do things like laugh, then you'll find that it engages those muscles a little bit. And while you're doing that, you should be able to breathe normally. So if you're really bracing and not breathing, if your face is turning blue, then you're engaging too much of this up here. So it's just this lower bit between the belly button and the pubic bone. Okay, so we're going to make that a little bit harder by engaging these muscles at the same time as doing a heel lift. So here we go. First of all, with your right heel, let's draw that muscle in, and then on an outward breath, lifting that right heel off of the ground and then back down again. And then the same thing with the left leg. So again, let's engage that core muscle, and as we breathe out, lifting your left heel and then back down again. So you can keep on just doing the heel lift, but if you're feeling ambitious, we can lift the whole foot off of the floor just a few centimeters and then down again. And again to the opposite side, engage the core as you lift up your left foot just a little bit off of the ground and down again. So if you want to just keep on with the heel lift on its own, you can do that, but if you're able to, let's lift that foot up. That's great. So either keeping the toes on the ground or off of the ground with a whole foot lift, let's try and progress on to hip circling. So again, draw that core muscle in, and as you go to lift up your right leg, remember which direction, but imagine you've got a little paintbrush on your knee and you're going to paint some very small circles, and remember which direction it is because we're going to repeat it in the opposite direction in a moment. And once you've done about 5 circles there, bring that leg back down again and do the same thing again, repeating in the opposite direction. And back down again. And then the same on the other leg. So again, you can either have the toes on the ground or you can lift the whole foot off of the ground. But imagine you've got a paintbrush on that knee, on your left knee, making 5 small circles. First of all, one way, and then back down, and then the same in the opposite direction. So again, engage that core muscle, lifting that heel or foot off of the floor and making 5 circles in the opposite direction. And then back down again. So what we're now going to do is involve the leg a bit more with the challenge, and we're going to do a straight leg raise. So if you've got tight hamstrings, you might not actually find that it's possible to completely straighten the leg, in which case just do a partially straight leg, and again wiggling the ankle at the end with a flourish like we're painting a vertical line in front of us. And again, if you've got nice long hamstrings, you might be able to get the leg all the way straight out in front of you, but I do want to make sure that you're not dropping into a slouch with this. So again, we'll start off with your right leg. So again, engage the core out in front of you with that single leg stretch, and then the same on the opposite side. And if you don't straighten all the way, that's absolutely fine. And sometimes with certain things like sciatica, you can get really tight hamstrings to go with that. And it might be one side's got a lot more available movement than the other, and that's fine. But we engage that core, bring the leg out in front of us, and then back down. So now let's bring our attention to doing some arm movements. I want you to imagine that you've got your hands out in front of you holding two imaginary trays of drinks. Now this is actually the Cleopatra, and what we're going to do with this is try and bring each of those trays out to the side and then back in again. So we'll do a couple of those. Again, sit up nice and tall, a helium balloon pulling your head up towards the ceiling. Engage that core muscle, and as you breathe out, bring in those arms to either side of you and then back in again. And then the same again. So we engage the core and rotate those arms so the hands come either side of you. So again, we can progress this as we come out to the side. If you don't knock over any plants or furniture, you can actually then straighten the hands. Imagine you're tipping those drinks all on the floor and then back in again. So again, have a go with a few of those if you feel comfortable. So we've done some exercises below shoulder height, and let's do some above shoulder height now. So we bring our arms up. So we're going to keep our shoulder blades like they're tucked into our back pockets, and they're going to stay there throughout this exercise. Now with your right arm, imagine that you're a clockwork toy, and we're going to bring that right hand up towards the ceiling until you feel a gentle stretch there, and then back down again. So again, engage the core as we do this. So we draw those tummy muscles in, and on an outward breath, and this time with your left, bring that arm up, hold for a few seconds, and down again. So again, engage the core, and you keep on going at a pace that's right for you. And you can even engage the breath, so you breathe out as that arm goes up, and you breathe in as it comes down. And from the same start position, we can do our next exercise, which is a chest opener. So again, engage the core muscle, and on an outward breath, this time we're going to draw a nice horizontal sweeping line out to the side, and then back in again. And again, this is where being sat away from the back of the chair might actually give you more freedom of movement. So again, the same on the opposite side, engage that core, and on an outward breath, painting that big horizontal line out and away from you before you come back to the start position. Keep on going at your pace. And for the last of our movements, we're going to do a position called the Mermaid. So sitting up nice and tall, let your hands rest either side of the chair. As we breathe in, we sit up tall, and as you breathe out, I want you to let yourself drop down to one side. So if you come over towards your left, sliding the hand so those fingers come down towards the floor, you're going to feel a big stretch in the opposite side there. Hold for a few seconds and then come back up again, and then the same to the opposite side. So again, we sit up nice and tall and then dropping down, this time to your right. Now that's a gentle form of it. The true mermaid actually involves taking the other arm up towards the ceiling. So what we can do, again, if we go back to the other side, so back over to your left, and if that was comfortable, you can bring the opposite arm up to the ceiling and look to that palm. Hold for a few seconds, and again, don't strain, do what feels right for you, and you might build up towards that arm being up overhead. That's a really big stretch. And there we go. And that was another 10-minute Pilates class in Seated. So remember, if you enjoyed today's session, click the like button. If you want to keep up to date with my latest publications, then subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, then leave a comment. Thanks for watching and see you soon.